Wow, what an amazing introduction. Before I start, Adam, I got a hot tip for you. If you're going to leave tomorrow, you should leave before 6 because the city to surf's on. But I've also got a quick question. We're here at the Social Goods Summit. We're looking at all these SDGs. And I've got a question. Do we need another hole in the ground for electricity, or do we need renewable solar power, wind power, clean energy? And I need a bit of audience participation. Do we need another hole in the ground? No. Do we need renewable, clean energy? Yes. So bugger off, Adani. Someone had to say it, and I figured this was a good spot to do it. Right, so 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. We never really knew what we were doing. We still sort of don't. This is our first rodeo. I'm not an activist. I'm not a business guy. We just had a great idea. It was very obvious. We put a rubbish bin in the water and we started to do things. And we followed our heart. We followed, what we felt was responsible. And then a few years later, we see these SDGs start popping up and we're like, oh, we're doing that and that and that and that and that. And it was a very nice way of sort of, packaging what we were doing into some pretty nice little logos. So, number 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. We got a rubbish bin, we merged it with a pool skimmer and then we put it in the water. It was a pretty obvious thing to do, but nobody had ever done it before. We were innovating. We created a new industry. We helped create a new industry, an emerging industry of, waterborne technology. It's been there, but we're also showing that it can be done very simple, effectively, and scaled out rather than up. Number 11, sustainable cities. How are we doing that? We're getting the plastics before it gets to the ocean. We can put those plastics back into the loop and create a sustainable economy of plastics, because plastics is a pretty amazing thing. My clicker is plastic, my phone is plastic, pretty much everything we have in our lives is plastic, and we shouldn't be throwing it in the water or on the ground. We should be reusing it. Number 12, production. For us, we're producing Seabins. We're doing it as efficiently as we can with what we have. We are building Seabins that are 99% recyclable, and they're long-lasting with longevity. The consumables we have last for 1.5 to 2 years. So tick that one off. 14, life below water, bit of a no-brainer, that one. Plastics in the water, doesn't belong. Plastic straws, bottles, all of this sort of stuff. And if we can get it out, we can have a better value of life for us and for the creatures and for everyone. 17, this is the big one, partnerships. It's an everybody's problem. Everybody contributes to it. Humans created this. Humans can fix it, but we can't do it alone because it's a massive problem. So that was how we are approaching these SDGs. We're doing a lot of things, and this is just some of them. So the next slide I've got is a video where I don't have to talk because I'm already talking on the video. The oceans are our greatest resource. We need clean oceans for a clean, healthy environment and lifestyle, and we're trashing them. We shouldn't be. So we're setting out to clean it up. We're using innovation and technology, and we can combine that with education and conservation and preventative solutions. Because the problem is it's so big. There's 192 countries that have got shorelines around the world, so we need to approach this from as many angles as we can, collaborate with as many people as we can, because the problem's too great to solve it by ourselves. We want cleaner oceans. It's not bad what you can do on iMovie. So this is why we are working towards these goals. This is why we do Seabin Project, because I want to ride around nude on a bike on the beach. No, but this is my son. You know, these are the next generation. These are the people that are going to be the decision makers, and these are the ones that are going to deal with all the crap that we've just created. And for us, it was, let's do what we can right now and give them a better value of life. We can lay the foundations of change for these kids, and then, you know, they're going to have a better value of life. They can clean it up, the residue, if we can't do it. So how are we accomplishing these goals? We started off with one Seabin, and now we have 746 units around the world. Thank you. This isn't super accurate. This was like a projection of what we think is going to happen, but we're getting there. We started off in zone 1, we're in zone 2, zone 3. We have 48 countries now with Seabins, and every day it's getting more and more. So we figured we would clean up the oceans one marina at a time, one Seabin at a time. So we started upstream because I don't want to, anything you put in the ocean, you've got to deal with Mother Nature. Mother Nature destroys things. You have 100-foot waves, you've got 20-foot waves, you've got storms, you've got shipping, you've got all this sort of stuff. And we just figured the path of least resistance for a couple of guys with no money was to start in a marina. And it was close to the source of the problem. It was a very visual thing. People can see it. And for us, it was a start. So starting close to the source of the problem was part of our strategy brought on by having no money. It was cheaper. So what we did was we created a reactive solution. We'll go into that. But we found that you need a reactive and a preventative solution. So when our video, we put it up, we did a crowdfunding campaign. We made a grand total of $362,000, which was $362,000 more than what I had the day before. Honest to God, my computer mouse broke on the crowdfunding. I went to pull out some money from the ATM. There was zero. I went back, I went through my van, found the small change, went from my jeans pockets, found change, I found $12. I bought an $8 computer mouse from a cheap Chinese shop, you know, those ones you can get everything. And then I went to the supermarket. I was in Spain, so you can get really good wine. I bought a $4 bottle of wine. And that's how we did it. And the video went viral, but everyone was like, yeah, Seabins are going to save the world. We can throw our crap in the water. The Seabins will clean it up. And we're like, holy shit, there's like 1 billion people watching this, and there's a lot of people that have no idea. And the good thing was they'd seen it. The bad thing was they thought the Seabins were a solution, but the good thing was that we embarked on a campaign of education is the solution, and we'll get into that in a little bit as well. My background, as you heard before, was a product designer. Super amazing, fun stuff like toasters and kettles. Stuff we designed was amazing because I could take a sketch, put it into the computer, 3D modelling, put it on the shelf, someone would buy it. The thing was, we never designed anything to be repaired. We designed stuff that was temporary. We designed new stuff because there was a new colour. And amazing as it was, it kind of sucked, but it's given me all the skills to be here today because I designed the Seabin, engineered it, did all that stuff, from the skills from working as a product designer. Next job, boat builder, amazing, travelled the world for 12 years with a surfboard, building boats, paid for everything. Everywhere I went was the same problem with a different language and a different brand on it, but it was always floating trash in the marina, and I said trash because I just spent 6 weeks in California. Sorry. So the whole thing started with my business partner, Andrew Turton, and he had this very lateral thought of if you have rubbish bins on land, why don't we put them in the water? And we did. And it was 2 rubbish bins put together, sticky tape, duct tape, Sikaflex, and it worked, and then it broke, and then we just made it happen through a million failures. And then, here we are today. We have a product which we're building on, new products, new models, and yeah, absolutely amazing. So this is a picture of the first commercial Seabin. This is the albino. That's me with a lot more hair. in France, where we put that first Seabin. So I read this book and another one. I didn't actually understand a lot of what he was talking about at the time because I never had a business before. I just knew what he was doing was pretty cool. He was successful. He could go surfing and he had a flexible work day. And I was like, one day if I have a business, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be like that guy. And, but what it showed me was that you can have a business and you can do extra. You don't have to, but you can. And for us, we decided, because we're not being hypocrites with education and the reactive solution, then let's split this into a 50-50 business model. We didn't have any money to do it, so it didn't hurt us too hard. Anyway. The thing with us was that, technology was not the answer, it was education. And, this guy, Yvon Chouinard, proved that you could have a successful business, build a community, and you could do what was more than what was expected. And so they're quite a big part of our life, or my life, which I then push onto the team and just Patagonia this and that. But and it was a while ago where I realised what we did and what they did, and it was for-profit conservation. So you can have conservation and you can make money, because I don't have a house, I rent from someone else's mortgage. I don't even have a car. I want to have a car, and I want to put a house and feed my little boy so he can ride around nude on the beach, So reactive solutions. This is our reactive. So if I drop this clicker, I pick it up, that's a reactive. This is what we did. We put the rubbish bin in. That was a before shot. That was 45 minutes after. The difference is tangible, it's there, and it's measurable. 3.9 kilos a day is what each one collects on average, or 1.4 tonnes a year. So we got 746 Seabins, and it's close to 2 tonnes a day that we're collecting that we prevent from getting to the ocean. The goal is 5,000, 10,000, clean it up. The goal is actually not have Seabins. It also gets the microplastics and the oil. Preventative solutions, what are they? These are my props. These are preventative solutions. That's a coffee cup, reusable. That's a water bottle, reusable. This is stuff that everybody can do, and this all helps. We don't all have to try and invent something. We contribute, we can all take an effort. If everybody refused a plastic straw in the city, who's going to sell a plastic straw that you can't sell? This is preventative solutions. And so what we did was we created a STEM workshop where we work with children, we create our own solutions, and then we work on, if you don't turn off the tap, you can't clean it up. We do this STEM workshop, we designed it for 6-year-olds, and we've just started doing it with executives and employees and adults. It gets a bit awkward, but it's pretty cool. We've got all sorts of projects going on. We've got corporate sponsorships. 2018, Wärtsilä Corporation, they sponsored 35 Seabins to 26 countries. That was their way of sort of giving back a little bit and just making an effort, doing that extra bit more. We're doing that with a lot more corporates now. Smaller scale, bigger scale, all sorts of scale. We've got people crowdfunding. We've got kids crowdfunding. Everyone wants to be part of a solution because they're sick of seeing stuff in the water. Stuff in the water. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to skip this one. This is, the official title of this is My Shitty Sketch of a Sustainable Future. So we got plastic production going through the roof off the page. It comes back and plateaus around 2080, and I hope that comes back a lot more. We got ocean plastics filling up. We got recycling and waste management getting better, and we have cleanup efforts getting better. And we still have plastic entering the ocean. So we're working for a golden area. I don't think that's the best way to say that, but I didn't have anything better. But somewhere, someday, shit's going to plateau and it's going to become sustainable. I don't know when. If anyone knows and has a better sketch, help me out. This is our call to action. If anyone wants to get involved, we have a not-for-profit with the educational stuff. We're looking for data volunteers. We're looking for people to help with events like this. We're looking for people just to get involved and tell your friends. If you're a corporate, I'd love to talk to you. If you've got a CSR budget and campaign and you're looking for fresh ideas, Alex is here somewhere as well. And that's it. Thank you.